You would not understand me. You would not comprehend the desires, if in the pursuit of love you did not perish in the heat of love's fire. If you were not incarcerated by both the loyalty and devotion of the soul and the blissful pleasures and blunt pain of the universe's divine scroll. Not in the mood for loneliness, my tired eyes beheld the morning sky, bruised from its wakefulness, as if dipped in blood-red lurid orange dye. As my mind searched for the mysteries that lay hidden in its foggy depths, love has left a beautiful pattern on me, but an unsteady slip in my step. You would not tolerate me unless you walked my path and lost your way, unless you were wounded, and its pain flirts with your heart and plays. If you did not know the way of suffering, got driven over by a heavy load, if you didn't suffer 1,000 imperfect rebirths to a dead end on the road. As my hybrid mind searches the mysteries that hide in its foggy depths, love has left a beautiful pattern on me and an acute stumble in my step. Every so often on my way, life rips wide open the half-healed wounds as it tries to get me to rise above those that would do me harm or wrong. You would not acknowledge me unless you traveled my unbearable route, when the best things in your life are left buried in fields of faulty repute. Unless the universe plainly dissects you into your heart, body, and soul, and your mind is left to wander, and that which was full is now an empty bowl. You would not understand me unless you suffered heavily in life's lane. You find love and the essence of your love in the undisguised pain. Unless the best wisdom in you was garnered from languishing longings, you walked the path of love and drank from the tavern of hurt at the end. You would not recognize me unless you labored in my maddening spree to search for the goodness and love that is not out there for all to see. You have lived your life being honest about your flaws and imperfections. You feel like you want to return someplace where everything had begun. You would not be able to acknowledge me if you were afraid to venture, if you were uneasy about finishing what you had started in life's adventure, and your wisdom was garnered from suffering when love held your hand. If you were not courageous to travel that way, you would not understand. My heart floats in an ocean of tears. It carries a cargo that is upheld. It drifts where the currents of delight take it. But I often ask myself, if heaven is a life of love, then why do I find myself at hell's reception? Why has the scent of ruination overtaken the fragrance of affection? Why has the heart which immersed in love now drowned in disparity? Why does the reality of fervor and crush change with such deep insecurity? I am a realist now, as I have deactivated my belief in love's frail impeach. Like a rainbow that appears distant but is nevertheless within reach, inviting and full of refreshing colors. But then we come to know that it lasts only for a moment, a temporary impression, only a show, out of reach in an untouchable place. It beckons to us from above. It is an illusion that quickly evaporates, like promises made out of love. I have discontinued taking the time to stop and gaze at a pretty rose. Like love, it beckons one to touch its tenderness, to draw near and up close. But if one loses oneself in its refined beauty and gets madly intimate and savor the unexpected pleasures that our fervid longings dictate, if one decorates one's heart, if the soul is trimmed with love's adorn, there will be hurt, as it will likely draw blood with its abrupt and hasty thorns. I stop giving credence to the beauty of the moon as it sails in the sky, as joy and suffering were actually parts of the same, and I don't know why. In the dark of the night, it illuminates my past, but torments the soul with the memories of love and passion that once was, but time somehow stole. Affection that lasts for a time, then wanes by reasons beyond our control. And love does that not reveal itself, but it does reveal everything we are not. I discarded the idle thoughts of the sorrows and miseries of death, as the pain of forlorn love grabs a lover and chokes him out of breath. He dies 1,000 times over, but somehow keeps his heart beating. Life itself becomes more unbearable and meaningless than death itself, as my world melts away with the reminiscences of the nuances of her hips and her kiss that drew whispers from my breath and hardened on my lips. I lost faith in the seasons, the joy of anticipation and the arrival, the dismay of separation, things that come and go, the rise and fall, love that blossom like spring, mature to happy memories of summer, that crumples into autumn, and desire that went cold in winter, each like a trap, creating opportunities for the unsuspecting lover, torments us with reminders like winter, spring, autumn, and summer. My heart floats in a sea of tears. It carries a cargo that hurts compel. It drifts where the current of love takes it. But I often question myself, if heaven is a heart of love, then why do I find myself at hell's gate? Why has the scent of ruination overtaken the fragrance of my fate? The soul that was immersed in deep love, now drowned in despair. Why does the sober reality of life and love change and feel so unfair? I ask myself again, why has love showed so many mismatched themes? Is it better to dream and try to attain it, or just simply enjoy the dream? Destiny unfolds slowly, and it unravels just as it is ornately written. Nothing before its time, everything at its own inherent moment. Distressing or happy, nothing changes, but stays as it is scribed. None is immune to the uncertainty of its design and consequence. Like a flower, the petals do not appear before the flowered. The perfume transpires at the perfected occasion, the correct hour. Like a book and its chapters, everything has its rightful place. The dragonfly emerges from the foot of the lake at its allotted pace. After living as a solitary water creature in the depths below, it rises to the surface and evolves into a unique flying machine, free to take flight and roam until the dictate of the script intervenes. Lovers who are separated and made to feel the wrath of solitude, the dance with love pauses, and the flame is their hearts doused. Each day's anticipation of joy and kisses now replaced by loneliness, freedom from the bondage of love, and submission to its memories. Destiny unfolds slowly, and it unravels just as it is ornately written. Nothing is immune to the uncertainty of its design and consequence. The hearts that rejoiced in their blessing now cowers in sadness. Gone are the walks in the rain. For this leg, they journey in bland emptiness. Immersed in pain and awash in tears, they struggle to find the way. They wrestle with their minds to find understanding and the meaning, to comprehend the purpose that destiny transpired and its intolerable reasons as the future unfolds slowly and unravels just as it is ornately written. In the embrace of solitude, the seasons have all lost their discerning, all become one meaningless differentiation, void of beauty or charm. Spring is now a bloomless garden, autumn colors fade to dullness, the appetite for life wanes, winter nights darken to tame desires. We must adjust to accept that nothing changes but stays as written. Nothing is immune to the uncertainty of its design and consequence. Destiny unfolds slowly, and it unravels just as it is ornately written. Nothing before its time, everything at its own inherent moment. Distressing or happy, nothing changes but stays as it is scribed. All has its moment. There is nothing we can do but surrender to its will. Like a flower, the petals do not appear before the blossom. The perfume transpires at the perfected occasion, the right hour.